Hey guys, it's Ryan here from Archaeus Creative. Today we'll be doing a quick tutorial on Warp Stabilizer within Premiere Pro. The Warp Stabilizer effect is super useful for removing that unwanted shake or movement from any of your footage. Now I'm not an expert on Warp Stabilizer, but I'll walk you through my understanding and how I have found different settings within Warp to be most useful. So let's start with a clip with a bit of shake on it. To apply the Warp Stabilizer, I'll want to highlight the clip and go to my Effects tab. Search Warp, then double click it and Premiere will apply the Warp Stabilizer effect to that clip. If we then navigate over to the Effects Controls tab, we see the Warp Stabilizer on the left, and within that, a few different settings that we can play around with. So by default, Warp is set to the result being smooth motion, smoothness being 50%, and method being subspace warp. Now the result being set to smooth motion means that you want the end result of the clip to be stable but not lose its motion. The other option within this dropdown is of course no motion, meaning you want the end result to be a static shot with no motion. Below that, you have the smoothness percentage. This isn't something we'll really mess around with today, but it essentially controls the amount of the effect that you'd like to be applied to the clip. And below that, we have a method. Now this is the main setting that will affect how Warp attempts to stabilize your clip. Subspace Warp will attempt to warp various parts of the frame differently in order to stabilize the frame overall, as if it's trying to isolate shaky parts of the image and then make them stable by distorting the pixels in that area. This seems to work well on footage that has slight shake or movement. Position will try to stabilize based on the position data alone, meaning it will analyze the pixels in the frame and try to keep them in relatively the same place. Position Scale Rotation does the same as the position setting, but it takes in a few more factors, being of course scale and rotation of the image. Perspective corner pins the entire frame and tries to stabilize within those corner pins. You'll always need to keep an eye out for distortion when using Warp Stabilizer. You'll always know it when you see it, and it'll tend to feel like you're kind of getting seasick on a boat. Now something to keep in mind is that Warp is a bit inconsistent to say the least. The settings used and what works on this clip may not work on your next clip, even if it's the same shot or shot in the same way, so a good rule is to try different variations of settings when you're on a troublesome clip. But of course, some clips just can't be saved. Alright guys, well I hope you found this video helpful, and that you now have a better understanding of Warp Stabilizer and how you can use it to smooth out your footage for future edits. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and stay up to date with our new releases. Until next time, this has been Ryan from Archaeus Creative. Have a great day.